Okay, so just remember these are the top brands. Busman for fuels, Sogilop for fittings, gas as well as water. Meters is Fluke. Electropneumatic is Humphrey, and sensors is Turk. Okay, it's a German brand. I forgot the exact spelling. Okay, and Google is down. Okay, so this will come on in your assignment as well as your final exam. Yeah, at least you must list out some of the top brands, because when you're an engineer, this brand is very important. For household things, household switches, electrical switches. Okay. For electrical switches, Schneider. Okay. I only use Schneider. Okay. Okay, this is Schneider. Okay, I use Schneider for all my projects because I know the quality, and it's world number 4 brand in terms of electrical. In terms of market share of selling electrical things, it's number 4. It's a French company. Now, someone told me long ago, I was in one of these, multi-level marketing, so I was selling some products, and then someone asked me a very valid question. Dynamo, they make soaps, right? And most people use Dynamo soaps for their washing machine. And my soap is a multi-level, some other brand. And then he asked me, how can your company, which is so small compared to Dynamo, make a soap better than Dynamo? I think I quit my business after that. Okay. Same logic. Okay, how can a small company with very little market share compete with these people who are world number 4 brand? Okay, so you have to use that logic now. Okay, they can hire the best people in the world. Okay, I mean they make mistakes, just like I told you before. It's because of Abraham Lincoln that USA managed to fight off slavery. They somehow picked the right guy. But in most cases, in a lot of cases, at least in all my life of working, it's not the top guy is not the smartest guy. Okay, it's because he's somehow friend with the boss here, friend with the boss there, somehow became the big boss. Okay, so in those kind of companies, they might have a big market share, but they might make big mistakes like Comet made, or IBM also made the same big mistake. Big giant company can fall down just like that. Okay, billions of dollars all gone down the drain. IBM was probably worth, I don't know, 20 billion. Just the hard disk making section itself could be worth 20 billion. It went to 0. Okay, after that. Okay, so if you have too much of friend, promote friend, not the best guy, become the boss. If you have too much of it, that's what happens in factories. Yeah, you end up not having the best products. I mean, it's just like even sportmen. I think one of our top sportmen is a girl, right? The squash player. I forgot her name. Now Google is not working now. I forgot her name. But some people are trying to analyze if she joined the normal Malaysian sports, would she have been world top? So people say, no, I don't think so. Because there's too much politics involved in normal Malaysian sports, and she wouldn't be chosen as the number 1 player. Okay, so she went to international and became number 1, worldwide number 1. Okay? I think she was the only one ever worldwide number 1. I mean, there is a badminton player also who became number 1, but not as helpful as her. She was all the way number one in squash. Okay. So sometimes the politics is what disturb. Sometimes you wonder why your country can't become number one in certain things. We have a lot of smart people in this country. Why we cannot be number one? It's mostly because of this politics. Okay. Politics is getting the one you like, the boss friend, become the boss. Okay. Or sometimes the minister's friend. Okay. Not just the boss of the company. The minister, hey, I want this guy promoted. I want that guy promoted. And so you don't get the best guy in your country to be in that position. And then the country cannot produce the best people. Okay. Somehow, I think this getting the best guy to be the boss tend to work more better in a free country like America. So they got a lot of smart people who are really smart becoming the boss, not just a boss friend. Okay. When you have a top-down nature, you tend to have politician friend who become the boss. Boss of everything. Boss of top scientists of the country, also a boss friend. Not really top scientist of the country. It's just a boss friend. Okay. So that's a problem with top-down management. Okay. Okay. So actually by now, since like we have been independent like what 60 years, we should be top in some things. If we are not top in something because it is boss friend culture, okay, I think we are not top in anything. I don't know. I can't think of anything that we are really top in right now. Okay. Okay. Anyway, I mean, these are the things that you don't see as a student. When you go to work, you see all this kind of stuff. So it's not that you are top student, 4.0 GPA. But there's another issue. The top student 4.0 GPA might not be the top also. Because that person may be just studying, don't have a proper common sense of a normal person. Okay. So basically, the best judge is this person can get things done, like Abraham Lincoln can get things done. Okay. And he is willing to fight for it. Okay. He should be the boss. Okay. It's quite rare that such a thing happens. Okay. But I'm fully convinced that America is where it is because of Abraham Lincoln. He made a change that's necessary for the country and that steered America in the right direction. Okay. 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 So assignment 1, you describe all this. Tomorrow we can go for the next step using the CGC to write software. So that's assignment 1. So assignment 2 is basically about motors, induction motors, why it is. Last figure I heard is 60% of industrial energy is from induction motors. Okay, 60-something%. Okay, and why this VFD is not as good idea as cyclocomotor, because all pump mills, I taught one group of them, about 14 of them, and they told me all of them using VFD. And why VFD? Very expensive. How much VFD? 40,000. What do you use it for? We want to slow the conveyor because conveyor too fast. The bunch, the oil pump bunch will go too fast into the boiler, and the boiler get jammed. So we need a way to control it. So we use a VFD to control induction motor. So I said, there are cheaper ways to do that. One is a gearbox. Gear 1, 2, 3, you can change, right? Another way is a cycle converter. So how does that work? Okay, cycle converter is one, right? Okay, so you can see a cycle converter. Remember these things that I asked you in your assignment will come in the final exam as well. Huh? So this is the cycle converter. So cycle converter, you see, these are things to control the speed. Your gearbox, rotary to increase speed, cycle converter to increase speed, soft starter, which is the old method, using an electronic called SCR, where you can only control DC motors. You can control AC motor, but a bit difficult, I mean, a bit complicated. But nowadays, we got variable frequency drive. It's very nice, can control perfectly, but the price is not right. Okay, like I said, the oil palm mill, they spend 40,000 VFD, okay, to control their conveyor's speed. So I asked them, are you sure? The way you keep it outside now, in the open where the conveyor is. But the outside very dirty, right? Full of dust, all the small particles from your oil palm seeds and all that. What do I do? Boss said like that. You do it that way. And then outside is very hot. You know the VFD is a computer. Variable frequency drive is a full computer. You see, what it does is you get AC wave from Cisco, right? So you change it to DC. Why is DC? DC, okay, it's just like blank chaos network. This is DC. Once you get DC, you can write anything on it. Okay, that's our reason why I change to DC. Okay, you can modify DC any way you want. Okay, so DC. Okay, so you can chop it. You off, on, off. You can get a square wave. When you put both sides, you can get. See, just now, I didn't put DC. If square wave like that is still DC, okay? As long as you don't go below 0, it's still the DC. Only if you go both below and above 0, then only it's the AC. Okay? So, and then you can control the wave of this. When you control the wave of this, you control the speed of the motor. When you're very thick, the motor is slow. Very thin, motor is fast. Okay? So you can perfectly control. So what's the advantage of like inverter aircon? Some people buy inverter aircon. See how the aircon works. If the room is very hot, the motor outside, the compressor outside will start. And then if the room is cold already, the motor, induction motor outside will stop. Start and stop use a lot of energy. So with a inverter aircon, you can control this one. Okay, you can make it wider, slow speed. You can control exactly, so you never need to stop. So if the room is already cold, it can go very slow. Okay, very slow. If it is, and room is very hot, it can go very fast, faster than Cisco. Okay, no problem. Okay, so it's perfect control. The problem is the price. Okay, So one case is Opa mill. They could have used a cycle converter. You see, I show you a cycle converter how it works. And they could have used gearbox. Okay, they could have used gearbox to reduce the speed, and then they can use cycle converter. Okay, so you see how the cycle converter works. This is a rotary. You see, you got a motor to run the alternator with many poles, and then go back to a 4-pole motor, so you get faster speed. That's to increase the speed. The old method. Okay. Okay, this is a rotary. But cycle converter is to reduce speed. So how it works is, okay, this is how it looks like. Okay, it looks very simple. The only component here is diodes. They look like a chip. Inside the chip is all diodes only. Okay, I heard it's just a few hundred ringgit. I think 300-400 ringgit. One of my senior electrician told me he bought from Singapore. Just about 300-400 ringgit only. Very cheap. Okay. How it works, and that's how it looks like. See, only diodes. You know, diode is the basic building block of all electronics, right? So it's the cheapest thing. So you can build it quick, cheap. So how it works? See, this is a core frequency. Okay. You just cut the bottom, and here you cut the top. What's the new speed of the motor? This is the new speed of the motor. Very slow. Okay. So they could have used cycle converter to reduce the speed of conveyor in the on-pump mill with just a few hundred ringgit like this. Okay. But they use a VFD that costs 40,000. Now I ask them, if 40,000 is spoiled, what to do? They buy two, 80,000 ringgit. Okay. So it is a total waste. Okay. It's a wrong decision to use a VFD when you can buy a few hundred ringgit of cycle converter. Okay. Or even a gearbox. Gearbox, I feel, is even better. Why? It's very old technology. And old technology tend to be reliable, especially if you buy from people who have been making this for a long time. So the continuation of technology, the metal, how to make it strong enough, you know, so the gears don't break in the middle. Okay. So you tend to be the old technology are more reliable, especially a serious business of hot mill where you're making a lot of money. One day down is tons of money you're losing, you know, much more than the motor, gearbox, or even the VFD. Okay, one day down of op-amp mill, probably you can buy a VFD. Okay, but so that's why you need a reliable technology. Okay, so gearbox is one way. Okay, another way is cycle converter. Okay, so another case I can tell you is Unimas. Unimas aircon system using a VFD. 80,000 ringgit VFD. When they have a graduation in Unimas, there's a center, like we are building right now, a graduation hall, right? When you go in UCTS on the left, that's our graduation hall. I think you guys will probably not graduate there. It's still a long time before it complete. Anyway, when we have a graduation in Unimas, the rest of the university no aircon. So my student using paper like this in the class, no aircon, very hot. Why inverter fail? Okay, my friend is the one who repairs the inverter. Okay, they put the inverter on the very top of the building. Heat rises, inverter is up there. Inverter is a full computer, like your laptop. Would you keep your laptop in the sun? Okay. And that's one thing about oil pump also. I said, where you keep your inverter? Outside. Outside hot or? The VFD is a full computer. Would you keep your computer outside in the sun? Okay. So you see, you're already spending 40,000, I say 80,000 on an oil pump mill inverter VFD. You cannot spend 1,000. Panasonic high quality aircon only 1,000, or probably even less than 1,000. Buy the smallest aircon. Make a small room for it, you know. Inverter is not so big, so just make a small room for it. Load the aircon on it, okay. Keep it cool, okay. So, I mean, these are logical things you have to do as an engineer. You're already spending 80,000. Might as well spend another 1,000 and then get a tukang in a factory to make a small room for you, spandex rope, never mind because we're aircon. Okay. Yeah, so keep it cool. It's a computer, you must keep it cool. Okay. So these are logical mistakes they make, which are very expensive. And then why can't they just use Autotran? You want to start and stop, use Autotran. Okay. Autotran circuit, I showed you last week. You can use it instead of the VFD. See, Autotran gives you half the voltage before the full voltage. Okay. VFD is very nice. Wow, very smooth. Okay. But the price is not right. Sometimes you look at this logically as an engineer, the price is not right. It's very nice, but the price is not right. Okay. When it fails, it's too expensive to repair. I already tried repairing a VFD. You cannot repair it because the components are surface mounted on multi-layer circuit boards. Multi-layers are like 30 layers of circuit boards. Okay. You just can't take out the components and solder and put new component on it. And a lot of components are just chips. And the chips are made by the same company. So I tried once what's that? ABB. Yeah. When you talk about VFD, mostly it's ABB. Yeah. The top world brand lah. Okay. Mostly world top for VFD is ABB. And serious industry always use ABB because the top companies in the world are GE, into electric companies. The top is this one: GE, Siemens, ABB, and Schneider. But they specialize, their core competence is different. GE is number one in making all the jet planes, including all your jet plane, your plane, airplane, Malaysian Airlines or whatever. Their jet engine is mostly made by GE. Okay. And most of the gas turbines produced electricity, like Semenanjung, is mostly using gas turbines. They're mostly made by GE. In Sarawak, our gas turbine produced electricity is in Bintulu. It's also GE. Okay. Siemens, they make a lot of things, but they're not specialized in gas turbine like this before. Okay. And because gas turbine is taking a whole level of technology different. Okay. And then ABB motors, big giant motors, they are the specialists. The biggest motor in the world made by ABB. Okay. When you go to size, big motors, normally ABB. Okay. Schneider is mostly like these things, the household things. They are the specialists. Okay. So different companies have different specialties. So as an engineer, for me, I will not agree to sign if you don't use any of the top brands. So I have IR, right? So you want me to sign, you don't use the top, I don't sign. Okay, it must be the top. Okay. Okay. So that's the assignment. You must make sure you explain You explain why. Oh, this one. Let me see. Sorry. Okay, why it's not always good to use a VFD. Okay, so give the two explanation. I give you the all-palm mill and also the econ system Unimas in 2016. Okay, which I mentioned in class. And then the next thing is about synchronous motor. They're coming back in a major field of automation, which is basically robot arms. Okay, saying why does it happen? So why is a motor starter? This is basically a judgment question. Why a motor starter needed for 5 horsepower and above? Okay, is you can explain like a moving armory. When you first started moving armory, it's very hard to move. Okay, that's called inertia. Okay, basically in this universe, things like to stay where they are unless you force it to move. Okay, so that is called inertia. Okay, so the reason is called inertia. Okay, and if you don't overcome the inertia, there are two things that happen: electrical stress and mechanical stress. Sorry, electrical stress and mechanical stress. Electrical stress is when the motor itself will put in too much current. Okay, there's too much current in the motor coil. That's electrical stress. Mechanical stress is when your bearings get too much. You have to overcome a sudden jerk in energy, so the bearings can't handle it. Because in induction motor, that's why is 67% of industrial motors are induction motor, because there's only two things in just spoil: your bearings and your coil. And now the coils and bearings are two things people have developed over time since Tesla invented this over 100 years ago. They've developed such that the coils can almost never fail. There's one in my factory running 21 years continuously, never fail. Okay, most people don't know this. Remember that. I talk to a lot of people in the industry. Most people don't know that their motors can last 21 years, continuous running. Okay, most people will say, no, maximum 5 years, 6 years. Because I know this because I interviewed the CIDB contractors. Okay, so there are motors with coils that can last super long now. The coil 1-inch is the thing that makes a difference. Of course, you use pure copper and then the coil 1-inch. The coil 1-inch, they got class H 1-inch. Okay, the super best quality 1-inch. And then the bearings. Okay. So bearings, the best bearing is SKF. Okay, you use the SKF bearing. Normally, you're okay. Yeah, they are well top. Of course, you must get original. Don't get fake SKFs. Okay, you get the SKF bearing, you'll be okay. That means, imagine a motor. There's just two parts that can fail. Your coil, you get class H 1-inch, and pure copper. Okay, your motor never fail already. Plus your bearing, you get SKF bearing. You can get a motor that can last 21 years, never fail. That means older than some of you. Okay, running continuously. Okay, in my Western Digital factory in Kuching, 600 amp per phase. That means 1,800 amp going continuously into that motor and still never fail. 1,800 amp. Imagine your house is just about 20 amps sometimes going into your house. This is 1,800 amp continuously going inside the motor and it never fail. Okay, so that's why it's a big difference, when you use the top quality versus the normal quality. When I was in US, I was a poor student, so everything is secondhand, right? So I bought a shoe, secondhand, $2, secondhand, right? Hush Puppies. I still have it in my house. I still have it. In America, you don't get much so much, but when the snow melts, it's very slushy, the time that snow melts, which is about now, about now in US, when the snow melts, it's like slushy all over the place. And I walk using that $2 Hush Puppy shoe in 1987 now, till now. I don't think the Hush Puppy is now the same quality. If you buy a supermarket Hush Puppy, I don't think it's the same quality. But you see, sometimes you can get some things. 1987 till now, how old is that? I can't even count. Okay, it's just too old. Okay, and I'm still having it. Okay, so there are some brands way beyond good, You won't notice it in your everyday life. I also never noticed it. I grew up in Kuching and I never knew there's such thing that can last so long. Then I found all these parts. Engineer must know these parts. You don't know, you can make big mistakes in the industry. Okay, there are big mistakes. Bridges falling down, Last time I showed you, yeah, Gerald was my class. I mean, the bridges falling down. That's terribly expensive, you know. A bridge, they are under construction, falling down. Oh, that is a bridge, easily 100 million, 200 million ringgit. You know. Suddenly, during construction, fall down, or sometimes just after construction, fall down. Wow, 200 million just like that gone. Oh, yo, that's terrible. It's all due to quality, you say. If you get the right quality, things will last forever. Yeah. I mean, I first noticed forever in US, not really forever, because I find the tools, because I've always been handyman, even before university. And I go there, I cannot afford American tools in their shop because I was a poor student, so I go to their Sunday market. The Sunday market, one section, used tools. Wow, I never seen such good quality tools, you know. That's the first time I noticed high quality. Of course, my shoe was there, but and then I came to Kuching, came back to Kuching. The first time I noticed in the factory, the parts never fail. I tell you, it's not just me, because I've been interviewing CIDB workers and contractors for the last like 7 years. They are basically the mode of when before I went to university. Everything must fail. I met one guy, shipping industry, 6 months. 6 months, I think. He changed pumps. Every 6 months, he changed pump. Why? Got better pump. Yeah? 21 years. Oh, way. They won't believe. Okay. This is a serious technician, quite high level probably. He changed pumps every 6 months. Okay. Because he never heard of anything better than that. Most of people of Sarawak are like that. I'm talking about technicians. I'm not talking about guys working in other fields. I'm talking about serious technicians. Never heard of things that can last long. Okay. So I only first discovered it after I started working in Western Data. The motors, DC motors, you know. DC motor just like a toy car motor. You know. Imagine your toy car can last for 20 years. Okay. Still running. Because of the carbon brush. The carbon brush makes a difference. Can last, DC motor can last 20 years. Okay. So if you're a good engineer, you must know all these parts. And you can make things last. That's a good engineer. Okay. I mean, no cheating and all this, lah. You know, people make money with cheating, all that. Karma. You know. It's not just you get people injured and kill people. You know, you are doing wrong to yourself also. Okay. You must get things working, like all the way. Look at the money. I mean, what is it? That's why I guess that's why you can see me on the bike. I don't believe in all this money just for, you know. I don't know. I'm just not the type guy. In Kuching, I was trying Pulau Saga. Old Pulau Saga, I'm still trying Pulau Saga. Cebu and riding a Honda Cup. I'm still riding a Honda Cup. Okay. I mean, making money out of cheating is just not right. Okay. You can cheat and make money, but I don't know. It's not worth it now. Okay. You feel guilty. You know, when you're going to die, you live probably 80 years or something, and then you're going to die. Oh, yeah, all my life I cheated to make money. How you feel? You'll be miserable when you're dead. Probably you don't die immediately, you die for 1 year, you're sick before you die. 1 year you're thinking, how I live my life. I cheat here, make that money, cheat here, make that money, cheat there, make that money. What kind of life is that? Okay. When you reflect. This is not so long, you know. I'm already 57, you know. And I find that I haven't lived long yet. I'm 57 already. Okay. If you decide to cheat all your life, even by this age 57, you'll be thinking, all my life I cheat to make money. It's not worth it. Yeah, you will regret it on your dead. Okay, so see you tomorrow, 10 a.m.